Hi, my name is Ravi. Today I am working on Honda Fit Shuttle GP2 2013 made vehicle. Customer complaint is IMA indication stay on in the dashboard. Customer has taken this car already into two shops. One shop already has changed the idle stop switch assembly, nothing happened, and then other shop asked to change the brake booster to solve the problem, but customer don't need to waste money and time, and he brought this car here now. I have diagnosed the issue already, but I need to demonstrate it for you. Okay, let's go and pre-scan the car first because we need to check what are the fault codes available and what are the data and what is going on right now with this car. Okay, here we go and start the car first, and you can see that the IMA indication is still stay on the dashboard. So customer complaint is confirmed. Okay, I have hooked up the scan tool already, so let's go and scan the car first. Okay, here we are in the topology mode. Let's scan all the systems and check for the fault codes. You can see that the IMA and EVAP system has faults. Here you can see the IMA system has two fault codes, P15C4 auto idle stop system malfunction, same fault code. That means he has set a fault code for the idle stop malfunction. And here is the EVAP system, that P0555 brake booster pressure sensor circuit malfunction and P15C1 brake booster pressure sensor B circuit high voltage. So this section that describe there is a fault in the brake booster pressure systems, that means in the pressure sensor or in that circuit. So we have to check furthermore to reveal what is going on with the system that he has set fault codes. So let's go into the EVAP system and check the data stream because we need to check the brake booster pressure sensors data. So I go to the EVAP system and then go to the live data here, brake booster pressure A and B sensors and the voltages. Here you can see that both sensors showing a 5 volts, that is open circuit, because already there is no sensors there because customer already taken those sensors into a shop because he is going to buy new sensors. Already I have diagnosed the issue. Anyway, this is the brake booster, and the other side of the brake booster hose, that two sensors of assembly has been fit into the firewall, and here in this area you can see that wire sockets there. So that is the place where those two brake booster sensors goes. So already I have diagnosed the issue. Now I am going to show you these two hoses. You can see those two hoses that goes to the brake booster pressure sensors. And these two connectors are the brake booster pressure sensors wiring harness sockets. So as I have already diagnosed the issue, I am going to show you before change the sensor. Not only in the brake booster pressure sensor, any sensor we need to check the wiring integrity in order to confirm that there is no issue with the wiring harness and the engine control module. So now I am going to show you how to do that, and then we can change the sensor in confidently. Without checking the wiring integrity of any circuit, changing sensors might be an unwanted or unnecessary part changing. Therefore, I am going to show you how to check the wiring integrity properly and in a right way. For that, we need a digital multimeter. Here already I have hooked up my multimeter negative probe into the battery negative terminal, and I have that positive probe on my hand, and I am going to check the wiring integrity of this brake booster pressure sensor circuit. Actually there are two sensors, and sensor A and sensor B. Sensor A was perfectly okay, but sensor 2 has a fault, and now I am going to check this sensor B wiring integrity. For that I am going to probe my positive probe into the harness socket and check the what kind of voltages available in each wires. Okay, next I am going to probe the number 1 pin of this socket in order to see what kind of voltage available here. You can see that that pin has 5 volt on the multimeter, so that perfectly indicate it is getting the 5 volt from the engine computer. So confirm that wire is okay. I probe the second wire. Also second wire, you can see that around 4.8 volt, nearly 5 volt. That means it also has that 5 volt of bias voltage which getting from the engine computer. Third wire should be the sensor ground connection. So I probe it like this, showing 0 voltage as it is a ground connection, but we need to confirm this is a perfect ground. In order to do that, I need a test light. You can see I have my incandescent test light which is drawing very low amp, almost 100 milliamps. Here I am going to touch the my multimeter probe where I have 4 probe into the wire harness socket. Then if it is a good ground, we should be able to see this light is lit. So light is lighting here. I will show you for the picture here. Yeah, you can see it is lighting. That means ground is also okay. So confirmed, wiring integrity is okay. We have 5 volt and 5 volt of bias voltage which goes to the sensor signal wire, and the sensor signal ground is okay. So confirm wire harness integrity is okay. We need a sensor. Even though we confirm the wiring integrity with the above test, I would like to show you another test how to do that. We need the scan tool for that. I'm going to show you here how to confirm the wiring integrity and the engine control module conditions with the relevant circuit using the scan tool. Here already I have loaded that brake booster pressure sensor data. So let me show you how to do that. Because I'm going to describe these things for you, that modern days I have seen many people try to change sensors and things as soon as they show a fault code for that system, but that is not a right way. So check this brake booster pressure system. Here I have loaded the brake booster pressure sensor signal data, especially for the circuit B, because we know circuit B is faulty here. So I'm going to go to the graph mode here. This is the pressure sensor B, and I have 4 probe my multimeter probe into the signal wire, that is the middle pin. And now I am going to take my test light and hook up that test light into the battery ground like this, and pull the signal into the ground using this test light, and then I should be able to see it in the scan tool. When I simulate, that means when I pull the signal into the ground, scan data will show us that voltage, that 5 volt pull into the 0. So I'm going to touch the pin here, signal pin. You can see, yeah, you can see that when I touch the pin, that 5 volt pull down into the ground. So that means scan tool showing us engine control module is getting the signal from the signal wire. So it perfectly indicates signal wire integrity. And keep remember, when you use this kind of test light for testing wiring integrity and things, don't use high amp draw test light. This test light just only draw 100 milliamp, which is perfectly okay for the computer signal testing and the computer ground signal testing. But don't use high amperage drawing test light, that could damage your engine control module. Okay, customer has bought other sensor assembly. This is the original one which was in this car. This the second sensor which shows a green sticker on the top was the broken sensor, and this is the sensor assembly brought by the customer from a junkyard. So I am going to fix this new sensor assembly, this new junkyard sensor assembly into the system, and we will check the data. Is that working? Okay, sensor assembly fixed onto the firewall, and let's go and check the scan data again. I will try to show you where that goes like this. So anyway, let's go and scan the car. Okay, here we go and load the brake booster pressure sensors data. I have already cleaned all the fault codes, and here you can see that the brake booster pressure sensor A and B both showing us around 100 kilopascal, which is barometric pressure. So let's start the car. Yeah, you can see it was started, and let's see what is the brake boost pressure here. Around 34 kilopascal. When I press the brake panel, you can see that it is changing. So sensors are working perfectly. So confirm this car is fixed. But here I am trying to showing you that how to test the systems and the circuits. That is very important. Even you saw any fault code into any system, do not change sensors first of all. Check the wiring integrity and test the circuits. Then if the wiring and the circuit is okay, then you can change the sensor in confident. That is what I did here. So I am going to scan again all systems because I need to make sure no any fault codes available after the fix. Okay, no any fault codes in the systems which we had earlier. This car is fixed with changing a new sensor assembly from the junkyard. Thank you for watching. Stay subscribed with us for more diagnostic videos.